last pod we were talking a little bit about artists that have a movies. I want to dive into movies slash TV shows.
Yes.
You said yes. You have to start now. Favorite movie slash TV show?
Oh God, there are so many. Can I go with Netflix originals too?
No.
But why not? They're a
Of course you
series.
can.
Honestly, if I had to break it down to 3 as of right
boy.
now, with how I'm
This will be
like,
good.
well, I think it's gonna be good. But if I had to break it down into
Alright.
3 as of right now, with where I am in life, my favorite Netflix original series would have to be Sense8. My favorite movie would have to be How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and then my favorite TV series, even though it kind of skyrocketed into a different direction, would have to be the original CSI.
Okay. Those are solid draft picks. What about you?
Well, I'm random. I like comedy a lot. Parks and Recreation. I
Ooh.
love that show.
Love it. Love
Yeah,
it.
I'm
Love
watching now Portlandia, and
Interesting.
the feminist bookstore is hysterical.
Okay,
I love
okay.
that. I love that sketch. I just see myself in it sometimes when I outburst something like "this is sexist" or whatever. I die laughing.
Have you ever watched Family Guy?
Yes.
Okay. I was just wondering because there's so much sexism, religious
Yeah.
stuff. So
Well,
I could just picture you watching that. Sexism, religion,
no, I don't.
chicken
I'm
fight.
not, I know it's art, and I don't get offended by it, and especially a Family Guy. It's I think it's made to be that way to shock you.
When it's for
Culture shock.
comedic purposes, I
Yeah,
find you get a
too.
pass most
And-
of
and
the
they're
time.
they're making fun of everyone, so yeah.
Yeah, they're not picking on someone. They're
Yes.
going after
Yeah.
everyone. So I'm okay with it.
Me too.
Which is nice.
Yeah. So for me, I hope The Office. I think that will turn to be.
Yes, The
No.
Office.
Oh God,
I
no.
love Michael Scott.
Dwight.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
Jim.
think that's going to be. I love how we just have to say the characters' names and we're
know,
going
laugh.
off.
Yeah.
I think that'll end up being one of our American classics, The Office, that series.
I agree.
I will always remember. I don't remember the guy's name, but I will always remember the episode where he walks in and he's just carrying that big bowl of chili and he falls and he's trying to scoop it back up into the bowl.
Probably Kevin.
Wait, do you guys remember that iconic scene, the fire drill?
Yes. Yes.
I don't think any TV show would do something as perfect as that one.
I love that scene.
I love that everything's trying to get ahead of one another because you have Netflix with their Netflix originals.
Right.
You have Hulu coming out with
Yeah,
stuff. You now have YouTube coming out
Amazon,
with
too.
stuff. Amazon. So you have everything trying to compete.
Everyone's
with
trying to
one
one
another.
up each
Yeah.
other. It's great for the consumer.
I mean, TV shows are great, and they're like you said, they're becoming better and better. But movies are going down.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
ah,
I agree.
I mean,
Oh
all these
yeah, you're right. No, you're
sequels
right. You're right. There
and
no
terrible
no
acting.
creativity really.
Yeah,
They're taking things that once were already created and trying to remaster them. But the
Yes.
thing is, people like the classics. Keep them how they were.
yeah. I feel like they're ruining it just for.
Like a lot
Well,
of
for
people,
money purpose, you know.
Well, I know it's for money purposes,
Yeah.
but nowadays you have a lot of people who hate going and watch. I mean, they're still going to go and watch them, but you have a lot of people saying that they hate the new modern horror films because they're just remakes of what was already
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
And nobody really they're like, we've already seen this. It already scared us.
It's
There's
just-
nothing new.
It's not.
Right.
It's just not original anymore as it used to, like the iconic films.
I do
like
have to say.
Scarface.
Oh,
and,
Scarface is good.
Mhm.
I do like
and
Scarface.
Back to the Future, one of
Mhm.
my favorites. Well, what I do is I watch independent films. I love they're
I
always.
have not
different.
watched too many independent films.
I actually watched an independent film that is called Arranged. You guys have to watch it. It's been out 2007.
Okay.
It's
wow.
about two New York women. They are teachers in the same school, but one of them is Orthodox Jew and the other is Muslim, and they're bringing the similarities in their religion.
That sounds really
So
interesting.
I loved it. It's the only movie that I felt like it understood us pretty well. So.
Okay, that's really cool.
Interesting.
Um,
And foreign films are good too. Yeah.
I've not seen too many foreign films.
It depends on if you
French.
can understand what they're saying, though.
Well, they're
I-
translated.
Do you know how to read?
I do.
Yeah.
There are
but
subtitles.
They're
One of the
translated.
ones that
Some
I
of them
tried
are
to put
dubbed
on.
too.
Yeah,
The one that one
You
of
have
the
no excuse
I'm
for
trying
it.
to think of- literally one of the movies that I tried to watch, it only had it in a certain language, and when I looked up the subtitles, it gave me like Japanese and like something. I think it gave me like
Okay.
Japanese and Spanish, and I'm like, I took French in high school, so neither.
This
of these
does me
options
no
helped
good.
me.
I watched an Argentinian film on Netflix about two gay men. I think they were in the 60s or something like that, and the people weren't accepting of them. So it was pretty interesting.
Uh-huh.
And I know nothing about Argentina, so it was quite.
Don't cry for
Mhm.
me, Argentina.
And I also saw a Polish film about that.
Hey, a Polska.
Mhm.
Hey.
So
I don't know why he's an
Were
Italian
there
Polish.
pierogies in the film?
Ooh, shout out pierogies. Love them.
Pierogies are so good.
no, it was a miserable film.
Oh, good.
How many
So-
stars did it get?
A lot, because it was a Holocaust film about a boy.
Oh.
A boy who.
A boy in the striped
who was-
pajamas?
yeah, it was so sad.
Oh my.
I cried.
I know I shouldn't be smiling, but I'm just happy I've
Yeah.
actually seen that, and that actually I feel like was a very good, like, valuable lesson that
Mhm.
people could learn.
Yes.
The type of movies you guys were just discussing aren't too dissimilar from documentaries. What are your thoughts on those?
Depends on the documentary.
Well,
If it
well, no kidding.
interests- Well, I know, but if it interests me and it's something that I can actually pay attention to,
Uh-huh.
I'll
Like
watch
what?
it.
Like what? Like what?
For instance, there was I'm trying to think. It was a while. Oh, I have to get close. There was a documentary that I was watching. It was a while ago, but it dealt with the the global warming and everything. And it kind of interests me because I'm a big person for animals, and one of
Right.
the things that they mentioned within the film was something about polar bears and how the ice caps and everything, they're starting to basically I'm trying to think of the word. They're like
Melting?
not only it is melting, but I was trying to be like, fancy with my
Dissipating?
That works too.
I'm trying to help you out.
But basically, they were disappearing, and if it continues on, the polar bears aren't going to really have anywhere to go.
Right.
They can't swim forever. They
Right.
need solid land that they can actually
Right.
stand on.
Why should I care about polar bears?
They're adorable. They are the basis behind Coca-Cola.
True, true. All right. At the very end of the movie, was there a man that came out and said this is all a hoax?
No, but they were telling you about certain things that you could do to make the environment better, like LED lights.
Do you believe that liberal propaganda?
I mean, I could.
I got
It's for the bears. Pandas are vicious, though.
Yeah, I'm all about saving polar bears, but pandas, nah.
Oh no, I'll still save them, but I'm not gonna get close enough to them. They're
Uh-huh.
vicious. I mean, they're cuddly and cute, but I mean, if you get on the wrong side, you're in trouble. I mean, have you
Well,
not
yeah.
seen Kung Fu Panda?
Valid point.
The documentary I saw was Making a Murderer. on
Everyone
Netflix.
here at
one was-
Hilbert loves that.
Yeah.
Everyone here at Hilbert loves that.
It was just eye opening of the justice system. And,
Oh really?
yeah, I know Hilbert is big on justice and
Criminal justice,
criminal
yeah.
justice. Yeah.
Forensic science
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
That's actually another thing. I mean, it kind of counts as a documentary, but I love watching the Forensic Files. And my favorite
Yeah.
thing about
Yeah.
watching the Forensic Files is when you have people live tweeting like things, and like
Uh-huh.
one of them said, "I'm scared of my mother. She's watched so many Forensic File
Yeah,
episodes.
she
that I'm
knows how to
scared that
cover
she
up her
could-"
tracks.
Well, they were like, "I'm scared she could kill me with a turkey baster," and I'm like, "This is interesting."
Oh, these
Uh-huh.
are scary for me.
What are
The crime,
crime?
the real like
crime
the
document, the real crime.
the real
Oh,
ones.
where that's actually happened?
Yeah, because
not the fake stuff, not the CSI effects.
no, because it could happen to anyone.
Right,
Mhm.
yeah. There's a lot of messed up people out there.
Mm-hmm.
Shout
Not
out
us, though.
Hilbert. Shout out Hilbert. Yeah, I've seen a lot of good environmental documentaries. It's just amazing because, if nothing else, the footage that they get, I love a good landscape. Oh, sorry, what?
No, I was just thinking when you said documentary and like, I mean, I know we've been talking about it with the footage and stuff.
Yeah.
All I can think of right now is Super Size Me. That documentary was awful. I hated it. Who religiously goes to McDonald's and eats And it gets super. I mean, I know it's like been a while, but who supersizes everything from McDonald's?
Well,
I did not need that mental image.
I know
Yeah.
people go there to like get like a quick thing to eat.
Right,
But not every single time when somebody's like, "Hey, would you like to?" I mean, they don't do it anymore. But hey, would you like to supersize that? Not every last person's gonna be like, "Yeah, sure, I'll supersize that."
Have you guys watched any Michael Moore films?
I have. I'm trying
I
to think
watched
of the one that I
parts
watched.
of 9/11.
Uh-huh.
What it was.
He just came out with one, Where to Invade Next. I really liked that one. He went to Europe.
Is it about wars or
No,
is
no,
it
no, no.
political?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did one about.
I'm a political science major, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did one
hello.
about gun laws, right?
Yeah, yeah. That was
Okay.
Bowling for
Because
Columbine.
that's the one that
That's
I watched.
the one you watched. I liked the one because I used to live in Europe. So he went over to Europe, and his idea, because America, we always pound our chest that we're number one. So he went over to Europe
Let's you
to,
look at the statistics.
yeah,
Yeah.
which you won't because we're illiterate.
No.
Well, we're undereducated. We're not illiterate. But anyway, where was I going with this? No idea. Oh yeah, he went. So we pound our chests, and then we invade other countries to spread democracy and spread the American way of life. And so he's going to other countries, and he brought a flag with him to every place he went to invade ideas to bring back to America to make America better.
I wonder how well that would work.
Very metaphorical.
Yeah, it was. First of all, I love the metaphor, like you said,
Yeah.
but it was very very interesting. So he
What is it called again?
where to invade next.
Okay.
He acknowledges that these countries have problems. Of course they do, but that doesn't take away from all the great stuff, the innovation that they're doing there. I thought it was cool. You go to France. Everyone here hates the lunches. Yeah, fun fact: they were horrible before the Obamas got into the White House. Yeah, they may have taken the tater tots away, but they were still horrible before. In France, it's like
Napoleon, give me some of your tots.
oh, that's Napoleon Dynamite. Come on. don't change subjects. In France, it's like not 5-star, but 3.5, 4-star dining. You're being served with actual silverware. Yeah, not that plastic styrofoam stuff. And it was so good. It looked so good. And real quick before I lose my thought, and in the prisons, I think it was somewhere in Scandinavia, instead of what we do here, what they did was it was more like you're living on a campus in college, and they had all the inmates together. They work in like a community garden. They work together, and they got to cook for themselves. They had a lot of freedom, and these weren't people with white collar crimes. These are murderers. I don't know about rapists.
Yeah, I've heard about that their prisons are much better.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing because you see the difference, and these guys, they messed up obviously, and they probably were bad, but they seemed like changed people. They were calm the whole time, and I don't know. I feel like that's something that we could invade. Anyway, what were your thoughts, Corey?
The thing with that is, it'd be better on I feel like on the criminal justice, the corrections that we have here, that system, because we have people where when they get put back out into society, they're not.
Yeah, they're lost. They don't know what
They're
to do.
lost, and then
Right.
they end up committing
And
another
they end up
crime.
going back to jail.
Yeah, and they end up going right back in. And here you
It's
have.
hard for them to assimilate.
And here you have people who are cooking, being part of the community, re-socializing. So when
Right,
they do
right.
get released, they already have that aspect. They didn't lose it while behind bars.
Their retention rate is way lower, and that would save taxpayers money. So you might not believe, you might think that they deserved it, but there's always some actual benefit towards society for doing
Yeah.
the right thing.
For selfish
Put,
reasons.
look, you might find me on these people don't deserve a second chance, but hey, imagine all the money you're going to be saving. What about Christmas movies? What do you guys like?
Oh, see, that's where my favorite movie comes in. How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh yeah,
I
da-da.
Always brings back that Christmas cheer. The holiday hooby wuddy.
I think the Grinch is
your favorite?
misunderstood.
He just needs to be
Yeah,
rehabilitated.
he needed love.
He did need love.
Don't we all?
Just a hug.
Hmm. and then his heart grew 3 times too large.
I love that movie. I like both the cartoon as well as the live action, but the reason why I love it is because it's it's showing how you can be inclusive within a community. Here you have somebody who you dejected, who you tossed aside.
Right.
They
Yeah.
do a wrong towards you, but then you can have that one person who just does so many right things.
Right.
Where when he finally comes around, everybody includes
This
him.
goes back to our prison analogy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow,
everything
looking
comes
at-
full circle on the Run Wild podcast. My favorite one is I like the Polar Express because of the soundtrack.
Oh,
That's one of my favorite soundtracks. What?
My favorite song is when they're on the train and the kids all the way on the caboose and they're all singing. Well, not the one kid, but the
When
last kid who
Christmas
gets
Come
on
to
the
Town?
train. I think so.
That's all I want when Christmas comes to town.
I think so.
Okay, yeah. Hot, oh, we got it. Hot. And then shout out Michaela Haveron. Me and my brother will watch the Hallmark Channel, ironically,
Oh my goodness.
just to make fun of it. But
All the sappy movies.
yeah, it's almost stupid. Oh my God, our faces bumped and now we're in love. Whatever. Or holy hell, I saw you from 30 miles away and now we're married. What a But nah, she pointed out one to me. It's called The Christmas Card, about a soldier who got a card from someone from a small town, I think it was in Washington. And he then happens to go through, of course, it's a Hallmark movie, so he just happens to go through the town. And they meet in real life, and there's a struggle. And I loved it because of, first of all, it's great footage, love the scenery, but also just the close-knit town community. And there's
those communities where everybody knows who everyone is.
yeah. So there's downfalls to that, obviously, but also there's a lot of upside. It's just nice seeing how close the family is, how everything worked out, and I love the carols, the church carols in there. So yeah, in terms of how horrible normal Hallmark movies are to me, I thought that was a really good one.
Well, one thing that, not only with Christmas movies, one thing that makes me happy about movies is when they actually do have a soundtrack that goes along with them.
Yeah.
Because then it kind of heightens something for certain people who enjoyed it. Because some people enjoy it for the footage, other people enjoy it for the music and soundtrack
Right.
purposes. So if you can do the best of both,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
Yes, that's why they have categories and awards for music, soundtrack, and footage, and
What's your favorite soundtrack?
movie.
For anything.
I like Tarzan.
Yeah, you cannot go wrong with
Yeah.
Phil Collins.
Yeah, it's really good.
See, I align with Disney as well, but mine is A Tale as Old as Time from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, okay. Be our
That
guest.
one is
Be
great.
our
too.
guest. Don't
Yeah.
you worry.
Well, the one thing
That
that I
film is
learned
great.
from actually somebody here who found out about it with A Tale as Old as Time with Mrs. Potts singing it, her actress, she actually didn't want to do it at first. They wanted somebody else to do it.
Okay.
But she ended up having to do it, and they used her footage, and people loved her so much that when I think they did Belle's Enchanted Christmas. I think that's what the next movie was after that. When they brought her back to do the voice actress as Mrs. Potts again, she actually ended up singing more because she felt more confident because of
Oh,
the
okay.
appraisal that she got from the first movie.
She just need a boost of confidence. Don't we all?
Yes.
What about so I know this is technically, we're kind of going around a different path. We're running wild on a different path. But what about musicals? What are your thoughts on musicals? Favorite one? Hairspray.
All-time favorite musical, Hairspray.
Okay. Did you watch the live Hairspray? They just did that.
I didn't get to watch it because of all my work that I was doing.
Uh-huh.
But I have the John Travolta one. I own it.
Okay.
And then I actually was on Netflix the other day. I know, go figure. Supposed to be studying for finals, but gotta have my Netflix.
Right,
and
right.
they actually have the older Hairspray movie that they did previously to the one with John Travolta on Netflix. So I still have to watch that.
Right. Okay. What about you?
I like Grease and
Grease Lightning.
yeah, And I watched Chicago in New York
Okay.
on Broadway.
Ooh.
I absolutely
Wait, like
loved
legit
it.
Broadway?
Legit Broadway.
Awesome.
That's so cool.
Oh, I thought you were
Yes.
gonna like. I thought you were gonna like look at me and be like, "What are you talking about?" I thought you'd be
Oh,
like,
no.
"They have Chicago in a movie."
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Broadway, Corey?
I have not. I had
Oh,
a.
You
have
gotta
to.
go. You gotta
I
go.
know.
Attend at least one show. And I attended Lion King, the musical. It's out of this world.
How? I feel like those tickets are hard to come by though.
No, they're not.
They
not?
have like
Yeah.
3 shows a day per theater.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Because I was about to be like, because my one friend's like, I tried to get some, but they were sold out, and
I
I'm
know.
like,
Yeah, go
"I'm
to the next
sorry."
theater literally
I
next
know
door.
Hamilton is now sold out for 2 years or something like that because it's so.
Well, that's different because it's brand
it's
new, right?
and everyone wants to watch it.
Right.
But Lion King was life altering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been to the Big Apple,
Mm-hmm.
specifically Gala. Love Gala. Shout out Gala apples. But I watched The Phantom of the Opera.
Nice.
you know what's
That is my
surprising?
favorite one.
I watched
What?
the movie. I
Oh,
loved it.
like a lot of people that I've talked to when it comes to plays, they in like Broadway and whatnot, they always mention Rent. And I do like Rent, but it's not my favorite play to
Uh-huh.
watch.
Yeah, I feel like that is a go-to for some people. For a lot of people, I mean.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was all right. The music was. I liked the soundtrack, and the plot was decent. I just wasn't my favorite.
The only thing that I don't like when it comes to like plays and stuff is when I do like music, but when there's too much and then it just becomes nothing but them singing back and forth.
Yeah. I do. I don't
Yeah.
like that. I do not like
You
that.
want a little
Like,
acting
yeah.
in there.
Exactly.
I would have gone to an opera if I
Yeah.
wanted that.
Exactly.
I went to an opera.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Where
You've
was
done
this?
so much.
Where was this?
In DC. It was Cinderella,
Uh-huh.
but the Russian version.
Wow, that is
So-
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the vocals were.
Russian.
Yeah, they were Russian, but they had subtitles above.
Uh-huh.
But
That's so cool.
it's just
See, Vermont, you wouldn't normally get that coming to you 90.7 FM, WVTC.net for the live stream.
Are you familiar with I call it the African American version of Cinderella. They put it in a movie. It has Brandy, Whitney Houston, a few other stars in there.
Is it kind of like how they did it with Oz?
Not really.
How's it different then?
They one thing that I love about the movie is yes, it is an African American who's like the main role and who's Cinderella, but they were breaking down a lot of barriers because they brought in a lot of different cultures. They brought in an Asian American who was the prince. They brought in the African American who was Brandy, who played Cinderella. They had her having Caucasian stepsisters, a Caucasian stepmother. So they were trying to hit as
Very
many barriers-
multicultural.
Yeah, they were trying to hit as many
Uh-huh.
barriers as they could. And
what is it called?
It's just called Cinderella.
Okay.
But
Probably have to type in
The-
African version.
well, no,
think?
you can actually. I just typed in my favorite song from there because it kind of reminded me of, like musicals and stuff.
Okay.
It's called Impossible, and it's Britney and Whitney Houston singing together, and not Britney, Brandy and Whitney Houston singing
That's
together.
probably so good.
And
Yeah.
it sounds amazing.
I want to listen to it now.
Ooh.
The movie itself is awesome. Honestly, I wish I knew more of the characters. I just remember that Brandy played Cinderella and Whitney Houston played the fairy godmother.
Right. Well, as you're listening to this, we're definitely on break now, relaxing, probably Googling, watching, listening to all this new stuff that we've been talking about the past couple weeks. You know, Minera, when I first asked you, hey, have you ever done something Run Wild worthy? Yeah, you were holding back. Can we just admit that much? You've done a lot of
No.
cool stuff.
Oh, I'm glad you think they're wild. I feel like they're normal.
That's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
how
every
wild your
day.
life is. Like,
I
I
mean,
can't even
I mean-
imagine you're wild. Our life is boring compared to yours.
I don't think so. Well, I've been to a lot of places, so I'm grateful for
Well,
that.
she wanted to get more into the culture of
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
God, thanks for holding back. Corey, we got a year and a half left together, so I'm not sad that we're parting ways.
We got more cultures to deal with. Not in a bad way, I should say.
You and me will have a couple more pods we're gonna do.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But Minera,
This is farewell.
If you didn't have to go back, I'd take that option. You're awesome. It's been great. It's
Thank
great
you.
talking with you this whole time.
Mhm,
Thanks for
I-
doing this too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, no problem. Any closing words?
No, I'm over here like I'm all over the place because we're like obviously we're like talking about goodbye and everything, and like the first thing that popped into my head is, do you guys remember that show on Disney, Out of the Box?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness. So I'm not going to sing it, but at the end of each show, they would always use makeshift drums and
Uh-huh.
they would just sing like a goodbye farewell song as they were
Mhm.
closing up the show. And it's
Okay.
just that's what it made me think of like right here cuz
Aw.
they would do like easy crafts and
Uh-huh.
everything with the
Mhm.
kids so you could follow along with them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Google it.
Yes.
Back in my day, no.
All right. Again, thank you for coming on. This has been the podcast Running Wild.